Good morning and welcome to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. And Sheriff, our topic today, this is one of those career paths. I think it takes a special skill set to be able to be a 911 operator.
Oh, absolutely. I tell you, going back all my years in law enforcement, we've always realized as police officers or sheriff's deputies that the anchor for us, the thing starts, quite honestly, with Consolidated Dispatch and the dispatcher getting the information, getting it to the field, and assisting us in getting to the victim out there, or in some cases, getting to the perpetrator based on the information we've got. And they are absolutely vital to what we do. Sometimes I think they go unappreciated by some in the community, but we couldn't do this work without them. And I think, too, that now that we've got a Consolidated Dispatch Agency, it's been so much better. It's really crisp in terms of how we deliver services. Leon County Sheriff's Office, Tallahassee Police Department. That consolidated piece, as you know what I mean, that's a big part. All of us working together, that all-in kind of thing.
Yes.
And the Consolidated Dispatch, it epitomizes being all in.
And they really are on the front lines. They're the first people to take those calls and get them in the right direction. We're talking off camera a little bit here about the stress levels that can come with that when you're talking with someone, really trying to guide them through the process.
Yeah, they're listening and they're hearing horrific things take place, and they're trying to keep their composure as they're dealing with the person and their situation that they're in, the fear that they're engaged in. Dispatchers feeling it as well. And that's why it's so important we started the wellness issue. I'm so happy that Odom, our CDA director, saw it fit to start the wellness initiative for our dispatchers, because they are right there on the front line. People talk about they're away, they're right there in the throes of what's taking place.
Yeah, they really are. And, talking about that wellness piece, it's something they've really embraced. Our guest today is going to talk a lot about what you need to know should you ever have to call 911. And then they are recruiting. Yeah,
absolutely. And they need people. And Ellen's going to talk about that in more detail. But if you're out there listening and you have an idea about helping law enforcement, think about Consolidated Dispatch as a dispatcher.
Absolutely. Well, be sure to stick around. We've got a full show coming up for you today. They are on the other end of that call when you call in an emergency. We've got details today on what you need to know about 911.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Crime Prevention Specialist Brandon Ortiz with the Leon County Sheriff's Office with your Crime Tip Tuesday.
Be aware of scammers that may try to exploit natural disaster damages to rip off Floridians through contractor fraud, debris removal scams, and price gouging. Watch out for unsolicited offers or contractors claiming to perform repairs at a discount with leftover supplies from another job. Check to see if a company is properly licensed, insured, and if there are any consumer complaints filed against a licensed contractor at myfloridalicense.com. Never pay the full amount of a repair expense up front and hesitate before providing large deposits. Read the entire contract, including the fine print, before signing to ensure it includes the required buyer's right to cancel language. Understand penalties that may be imposed for cancellation. Do not feel pressured by the contractors to sign a contract, a certificate of completion, or make the final payment until you are satisfied with the work performed.
That's a crime tip. Have a great day.
Start your new career as a corrections officer at one of the state's most innovative agencies, the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
When I left the academy, my training never stopped.
Work with state-of-the-art technology.
You can make a lot of money at a very young age.
Starting pay is $50,000 a year with amazing benefits.
Firearms, taser, driving training.
A better work-life balance with more time off.
They're going to sponsor you through the academy and pay you while you're there.
Join the family. Apply today at leoncountyso.com.
In today's society, kindness can sometimes feel hard to find.
Like a purple unicorn.
Cyberbullies hide behind keyboards.
Road rage can accelerate quickly.
And gun violence
has taken our loved ones.
But we can all work to tip the scales of kindness.
Put down the weapons and think before you act.
Pay for someone else's order at the drive-thru.
Offer to pick up groceries for an elderly person.
Or just write a kind note and pass it on.
Find ways to spread kindness.
Spread kindness.
Spread kindness.
Difunde amabilidad.
Spread kindness.
So let's go all in
and spread kindness.
Welcome back. The Consolidated Dispatch Agency is on the front line of emergencies in this community. Joining us now with more information is Ellen Hutsell, Public Information Officer with the CDA. Ellen, tell us about your career in the CDA.
Well, I've been with the CDA family for about actually it was 3 years on June 1st of this year. And my role there is as the Public Information Officer, which includes oversight of community engagement, events, and recruiting.
Okay. One of the things I talk about is that the CDA is an essential part of law enforcement. Talk to our audience about what that career is like for a dispatcher.
So I will tell you, my background is I was an administrator with the Tallahassee Police Department, as you know, and everything I thought that these incredible folks did, they do all that I thought that they did and more. So to come in the room finally and watch what happens and understand all the training that's required to do the job, they're just remarkable multitaskers, and an incredible level of empathy and a servant heart is required. They're just truly amazing.
They absolutely are. One of the things that intrigues me is the call volume. Can you talk about that, the volume of calls that come into our dispatch center?
Sure. So we average about 500,000 calls a year, and of those, about half of those end up being emergency 911 calls. So it's a pretty heavy call volume. When you know yourself, it's a 702 square mile radius, and our population is about 300,000. And so if you do the math, that's technically one call per citizen.
Wow.
And it's a lot for our community.
So talk to us about the 911 operators. Now, we got dispatchers who are actually receiving calls, but 911 dispatch, that's a special kind of engagement for the dispatchers. Talk about that for a minute.
It is. So within a Consolidated Dispatch Agency, there are, we call them disciplines, phones, law, radio, fire, radio, but the primary function with the phones is to answer a 911 call. In order to do that, it requires a state certification. So the training for that, we are certified to provide that curriculum in-house, which is outstanding. It's provided through the State of Florida Department of Health. And then our recruits complete the training, take the test, and upon successful completion are certified 911, or we call them public safety communications operators for the state of Florida.
Okay. Now, we need dispatchers.
We do.
And you get all the training they can get, possibly.
Yes.
So what's the salary like, and how do we entice folks to become members of our CDA?
So we're always looking for people to join our family. So the starting salary is $48,000 a year after training. Training takes about 6 to 7, 8 maybe months to complete. You have to do the classroom academy, and then you will transfer to the floor and sit with certified training officers who will assist you through your training process, through the discipline. So phones, 911, law radio dispatch, fire radio dispatch, and the administrative line for law enforcement. It takes a unique individual to do the work.
It does.
Multitasking with excellence, as you know, is vital. And skills like empathy, because empathy is a skill. You kind of learn that as you grow and you experience life. But at the center of it all is a servant heart. You have to have a desire to serve the community and to help other people. Yeah,
no question. So we got viewers out there now. How can they get in touch if they have a desire to become a dispatcher? How do they get in touch with you all?
Visit us at 911leon.com.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Ellen. An important request from the CDA this hurricane season. Stay tuned.
Domestic violence knows no faith.
1 in 4 women experiences abuse in their relationship.
So most likely, there are victims of abuse in your congregation.
Don't think it doesn't happen in your church.
Or synagogue.
Or mosque.
Because it does.
It does.
It does.
Learn the signs of abuse.
And how to help victims.
Know the many resources available in our community.
End the silence on domestic violence.
Contact the Domestic Violence Coordinating Council or the Refuge House Hotline.
We're back with Ellen Hutsell, Public Information Officer for the Consolidated Dispatch Agency. Ellen, I can't imagine the kind of stress and the job that happens in the CDA during hurricane season. Talk about that. What exactly happens during the hurricane season? How do we all get prepared?
Well, to be prepared, I'm actually glad you asked that question, because this is a conversation that Director Odom is having quite frequently in our community engagement events. And Tallahassee, in order for Tallahassee and Leon County to be resilient, our citizens have got to be prepared on an individual level. And situational awareness, we use that term a lot in the first responder public safety world. But for a citizen, what that means is to be aware of things that are foreseen, so weather events, hurricanes, to be aware of, what the status of the storm is, but also to be aware of the situation within our homes and with our loved ones, and to kind of plan ahead. So currently we don't have any storms on the horizon. However, we are expected to have a very busy hurricane season this year. And so it's a good time now, while no one's in panic mode and there's no crisis, to start planning for that. So a lot of us take care of elderly family members. What will your elderly family members need if the power goes out, or if you have to evacuate, or pets, or small children? And that's kind of on us to do exactly what we're doing here. So thank you for the opportunity to talk about it, to constantly remind folks that this is how we take care of each other. It also makes it safer for the first responders. So recently, after the tornadoes came through Tallahassee, that was quite a bit of destruction.
Absolutely.
And a crisis for a lot of people. And so for us, the calls coming in were our normal calls. Criminals don't take a break just because it's raining.
Yeah.
But also, medical emergencies are happening. And in addition to that, now there's a tree inside of a home, or on a car, or across a road. And so planning even includes, have your medications in advance, make a way to do that. That's one of the things that is very dangerous, is for people to be out driving on the roads after a storm like that. And so when our first responders need to go remove trees or respond to other circumstances, often we find ourselves diverting those resources because there's a car trapped under a tree with a live wire and water is rising, and it becomes a very unsafe situation for the citizen and the first responders.
Yeah. You're right. The tornadoes came through, and we're not in hurricane season. We're in hurricane season. We haven't had any hurricanes alerts just yet. But those tornadoes taught us a big lesson.
Most definitely.
And I hope that our citizens out there are heeding those warnings and that information we're getting out there. Is there anything else you would like to share with our audience about hurricane season and preparation?
There are tools available. The county, Leon County, has Citizens Connect, and it's great to find out what is available via that resource. Also, City of Tallahassee has Digitally, and the reason why you would want to participate with both of those is because they talk about road closures depending on the location and things like that. I'm just kind of researching that. There's a lot of great resources out there about how to be prepared and what it means to be prepared. And of course, we're always there. 911's always there, and when in doubt, call 911, and we'll help get you where you need to go regardless.
Yeah, and that's interesting. You're right, 911 is always there, but sometimes citizens take advantage of it and misuse it. Can you speak to that?
Yes. So an emergency would be qualified as something that's life-threatening, a life-threatening situation, a crime in progress, something that is imminent and requires immediate response from law enforcement, fire, emergency medical services. However, if you're not sure if it falls into one of those categories, we ask that you call us anyways. Once we're able to determine it's not an emergency, we will still get you where you need to go. And if you can't call, text us. Send us a text.
Well, Ellen, thank you for the great job you do. And I know that the staff there appreciates you and what Odom is doing and the growth, and I particularly appreciate it. And we're hiring people, we're getting up to speed with staffing, and you guys and ladies are doing a tremendous job out there, so thank you. Up next in our Deputy on Duty, a challenge for our teens. Our Youth Services Department is making sure they're prepared behind the wheel. Stay tuned.
In this episode of Deputy on Duty, LCSO's school resource deputies are teaching safe driving techniques and sharing tips to ensure the safety of teenagers on the road through the Teen Driver Challenge.
This is a Teen Driver Challenge course that emphasizes crash avoidance and defensive driving.
The Florida Sheriff's Association developed the Teen Driver Challenge as a free program to tackle key issues like speeding and distracted driving among teen drivers aged 15 to 19.
This is put on by the Leon County Sheriff's Office School Resource Deputy Unit. We're all SRDs. We're used to being around the kids, and they're used to being around us, so we have an instructor in the car with the kid at all times that the car's moving. And the instructor's telling them how to do the course properly.
Deputy Halligan reassures students that this is not an advanced driving course, but rather focuses on building confidence in their driving skills.
We'll go slow. The instructor actually shows them how to do it properly, then they'll change seats. And then they'll go nice and slow, and they'll get it done one or two times. And then as they gain confidence, they'll go a little faster, they'll hit the brakes a little faster, they'll back up faster. So it's encouraging for me to watch them out here.
This program is comprised of two components: hands-on driving experience and classroom learning with lunch provided.
Start out in the morning in the classroom. I have a PowerPoint presentation that I do. It entails vehicle dynamics. We talk a lot about the proper use of seatbelts and the importance of wearing seatbelts, road rage. We talk about the do's and don'ts of road rage. We talk about what would happen if you got stopped by a law enforcement officer, what the do's and don'ts on that is.
While the program is free, we ask that students drive the car they normally use.
And I highly encourage the parents, we want the student, their child, to drive the car that they will be driving normally. Because again, they'll get a lot of confidence driving at some of these different courses, but they also will gain confidence in the vehicle they'll be driving a lot, to know that it can turn on a dime or it can stop. Or the backing is a lot easier.
The program curriculum has been carefully planned, and our school resource deputies excel in equipping student drivers with a range of techniques.
We don't, as some of these cars are equipped with backup cameras, we don't allow them to use them because we want them to gain confidence backing by looking over their shoulder or using their side view or rear view mirrors. We actually come out here and do a vehicle inspection, or have the students do a vehicle inspection. We show them how to properly gauge a tire for air. We actually show them how to properly change a tire.
Deputy Halligan has been instructing this course for more than a decade. He mentions the most rewarding aspect.
I've been doing it since 2007, teaching this course, and what's so great about this course is I think this year I've had, I talked to a parent, she said, my fourth child's gone through this, because they're so supportive of this course, this program. I've had many stories told to me by parents when I talk to them about what they've learned out here has helped them avoid a crash. And that's wonderful. That's the thing is I want to hear, that this course is making a difference, and it's absolutely making sure these kids are confident in their driving abilities.
If your child is ready for the challenge, visit our website at leoncountyso.com. For Leon County Today, I'm Shonda Knight.
Start your new career as a corrections officer at one of the state's most innovative agencies, the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
When I left the academy, my training never stopped.
Work with state-of-the-art technology.
You can make a lot of money at a very young age.
Starting pay is $50,000 a year with amazing benefits.
Firearms, taser, driving training.
A better work-life balance with more time off.
They're going to sponsor you through the academy and pay you while you're there.
Join the family. Apply today at leoncountyso.com.
Download the Leon County Sheriff's Office mobile app right now. Our mobile app makes it easier than ever to report a crime and get important safety alerts. You can also see who's been booked at the Leon County Detention Facility and follow reported crimes in your neighborhood, all in one convenient location in the palm of your hands. Download LCSO Connect right now. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play by searching LCSO Connect.
Welcome back to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. And Sheriff, our Teen Driver Challenge, it is such a popular program, and rightfully so.
Oh, absolutely. Our deputies like it too. I mean, the fact that they get out there and they go to the range themselves, the driving range, and they learn all these particular moves and how to make sure they're safe as they're curving and stopping, and they do pits. I don't want to talk about what pits are, but
yeah.
But then they get a chance to get with our kids in our community and sit down with them and first talk about the responsibility of driving and how important it is to be proficient in your driving and understanding the rules of the road, and they teach the basics to them. Then they talk about exactly how do you drive and being respectful of the other drivers out there. And they talk about, in some cases, road rage and how that occurs, and how we should make sure that when we're out there that we aren't obviously impaired in any way. So our deputies do a great job with it, and I appreciate the schools too for allowing us to partner with them and to interact with those kids in those settings, and then bring that all back to the Leon County Sheriff's Office. So it's a great partnership with the parents, the schools, and the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, as a mom of a kid who's going to be driving in a year, I can't even believe I'm saying that. It's something that, a service that we offer that's for free, and it's so beneficial for them to see those dangers that they could face.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and quite honestly, you have to drive defensively now. It used to be that, you get out there and you just learn how to take care of yourself, but you've got to understand drivers are out there, they may be impaired, and what you need to do in those circumstances, how to avoid those situations that get you in trouble. And that's what our deputies do. They sit down and have that deep dive discussion that even some of the professional people that teach driving don't reach the depths that our deputies do.
Absolutely. It's a good program indeed. And then our partners over at the CDA can't say enough about those 911 operators.
Yeah, Ellen did a great job talking to us today about what they do and how they go about doing it. And she put in a message about this is hurricane season that we're in right now, and obviously we want to make sure that the citizens out there get prepared and equally understanding when we have those circumstances going on, the 911 calls they inundate our CDA. So if it's not a real emergency, law enforcement, CDA, all of us are working together.
Right.
And we got the information, we're on the way. If your utilities are out, we all know they're out.
Right.
But calling us, we don't mind it, but it does take us away from the vital stuff that's taking place in our community.
Yeah, don't tie those lines up for the folks who really, really need it. All right, thanks, Sheriff, and thank you all for joining us for another episode. We'll see you back here next week.